Chag Sameach, happy Hanukkah. I hope the first part of your Hanukkah is going well, and I'm excited to celebrate the seventh night with you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh. Tonight, we are going to read a Hanukkah story as we think about the light we bring into the world and the light others bring into our world. It is the Ziz and the Hanukkah Miracle. Since the beginning of time, animals have felt sad at summer's end when night comes earlier and earlier each day. No one was sadder than the Ziz, a gigantic yellow bird with large red wings and a purple feathered forehead who lived on top of the mountain. When the days were short, the Ziz didn't feel sleepy at sunset. Even worse, the Ziz couldn't see to make his dinner. He couldn't tell if he was picking up a cucumber or an ear of corn. Ew, the Ziz grumbled. I hate cucumbers. The Ziz decided he needed light in the evening. But where could he get it? I know. The Ziz flapped his wings and danced. He loved coming up with good ideas. I will get some fireflies. The Ziz flew to a warm, wet place and chased the fireflies with a net. But when he got them back to his nest, they wouldn't glow. What's wrong? Asked the Ziz. We don't like being squished together in this net, the firefly said. Let us out, and we will shine our lights. That sounds fair, says the Ziz. He opened the net, and all the fireflies flew away. Wait, says the Ziz. The fireflies were gone. He needed another idea. I know, said the Ziz. I'll get some lanternfish. They can't fly away. The next night, he stood in the ocean. The Ziz was so huge that the water only came up to his knees. As soon as he saw the bright lights of the lanternfish, he scooped them up into a pot. Give me light, the Ziz commanded. No, said the lanternfish. We don't like it in here. The Ziz begged for hours, but the fish refused to share their light. He needed another idea. A full moon peeked out from under the clouds and then disappeared. That's it, the Ziz flapped his wings. I'll catch the moon. He flew up to the sky with a huge piece of rope and tugged and tugged. The Ziz was the biggest bird on earth, but even he couldn't budge the moon. What am I going to do now? The Ziz plopped back down on his nest, discouraged. He had done everything he could think of, and it was time to ask God for help. The next day, the Ziz flew to Mount Sinai, the special place where he always talked to God. I can't eat my dinner, the Ziz complained. You're right, God's big voice rumbled through the clouds. The days are short this time of year. Will you fix it? No, said God firmly, but I can make it easier to bear. A bolt of lightning hit the ground. The Ziz turned around and saw a lamp filled with oil. What's this? The Ziz asked. Take it home, God commanded, and see. Every evening, the oil lamp burned brightly. The Ziz could see to eat his dinner and fluff up the bed in his nest. He could even read himself a bedtime scroll. Light, light, a flicker, flame, or spark makes my heart happy in the dark. The Ziz watched the lovely flame for hours, singing and smiling. But he wasn't the only one. Raccoons and foxes and hedgehogs and rabbits and owls and other little animals crept closer and closer each night. They needed something to brighten up their long, dark hours, too. One night, the Ziz saw 50 pairs of eyes enjoying his beautiful lamp. No, said the Ziz. It's my lamp. Mine. Mine. The Ziz was so upset he couldn't sleep. In the morning, he gathered his light and took off to find another place to live. He flew over mountains, he flew over trees, he flew over valleys, he flew over seas. In the afternoon, the Ziz stopped to rest at a magnificent stone building. 2 men were talking outside. The Ziz snuck closer to listen. The war is over. The holy temple has been scrubbed from top to bottom. It's time for the rededication. Let us light the menorah and celebrate. But Judah, the other man said, we only have enough oil to last 1 day. How long will it take to make more? Judah asked. 8 whole days. We can't wait, Judah decided. The menorah must be lit now. The other man walked back inside, and Judah Maccabee sat down on the stone steps and put his head in his hand. The Ziz watched, feeling sad. Did God know about this? The Ziz flew off to Mount Sinai, carrying his lamp. Guess what? The Ziz poked his purple feathered head into the heavens. There's a man named Judah at your holy temple. He needs oil for the menorah. You don't have to tell me, God answered. I know everything. Are you going to help him? No, said God. You are. Me? The Ziz shook his purple feathered head. Sometimes God was confusing. What can I do? God sighed. It seemed like the wind groaning in a storm. Don't you have any ideas? No, I don't, said the Ziz as he hopped up and down. That's why I'm asking you. God was silent for a few moments. Have you thought about sharing? Sharing? What can I share? The oil in your lamp, said God quietly. No, the Ziz cried. I want my light. It's mine. It's mine. The Ziz flew away from Mount Sinai without even saying goodbye. He had never disobeyed God before, but God never asked him to do anything this hard. Mine, the Ziz sobbed, mine. The Ziz was crying so much he couldn't see in the dark. He was headed straight for the holy temple, about to crash into the ceiling. But just at the last second, the Ziz saw the 7-branched menorah shining through the open door. Whoops! He swerved and hit the temple steps instead. The Ziz tiptoed up the front door. He watched the light dancing on the temple walls and ceiling. Pretty, he cooed. Yes, it is, said a small squeaky voice. The Ziz bent his long neck down to look. A family of mice stood at the temple door, enjoying the menorah. Their faces were happy until the light started to sputter and fade. What's happening? The baby mouse cried, frightened. The father mouse shook his head. The menorah is running out of oil. Oh no, the Ziz said. He picked up his beautiful lamp and looked at it sadly. Who can help? The baby mouse asked. I can, the Ziz said. He tried to walk through the temple door, but he bumped his head. The Ziz was too big to fit inside. We'll take it in for you, the mice said. Together, the mouse family dragged the oil lamp up to the menorah. An owl flew in and helped them. Soon, the light was burning as brightly as before. The Ziz jumped up and down, flapping his wings. It's beautiful, the most beautiful light ever. For 8 nights, the mouse family helped the Ziz share his oil with the Maccabees. On the 9th day, Judah rushed to the temple steps with a jar of oil. It's a miracle! The light is still burning. The Ziz picked up his lamp and flew back to his nest. All day, he moped on his mountaintop. What would he do when it got dark? There was only a little bit of oil left in his lamp. But at sunset, the Ziz had a surprise. His lamp was brighter than ever. The Ziz could see to make his dinner. He could fluff his bed and read his scrolls. Everything was just as it had been before, except that night when the hedgehog, the fox, the raccoon, and all the little animals tiptoed up to his home, the Ziz invited them in. Together they watched the lovely flame dancing in the darkness. Light, light, a flicker, flame, or spark makes my heart happy in the dark. Just as the Ziz learned that his light was sweeter when he shared it, so too is our light sweeter when we share it with others. How have you shared your light with others this Hanukkah? And what can you do in the coming year to keep bringing light to yourself, your family, our Stephen Wise community, and the whole world? And just like the Ziz, you just might find out that when you share your light, your own light shines brighter too. Chag Sameach, Happy Hanukkah.